lost my best friend at the end of the day, and I'd like to help him.
You're teaching a child how to hit, then you're going to teach them how to take responsibility for that hit. And you only do it when you're here, under supervision.
We always tell our students, from children or to adults, one of the first golden rules is what you learn in here stays in here. Otherwise you're banned, you're gone straight away. And every student does listen. They listen to that. If they don't, then sorry, they've got to walk. They're not welcome in our club.
I would say, as a mum, don't have any concerns, because it does give you the confidence to know that they're not going to be one of those kids that is on the street corner that's like, oh, let's go out and have a fight tonight, because it just isn't like that at all.
I think it gives them the confidence to be able to walk away from a fight, you know, and I think that's a good thing, you know. They haven't got anything to prove.
If something's going on in your school, let's say some bullying or something, would you be tempted to try and deal with it using Thai boxing?
No. Because first, you walk away, but if they touch you in any way, or like make contact with you kind of, then you react. But you don't carry on. If they go down, you don't carry on, you walk away.
Coming up next, the Thai boxing teacher who says the sport makes kids less aggressive, and the doctor who says children are being treated like fighting dogs. Join us for a knockout debate. Welcome back. Tonight we're debating child Thai boxing, one of the fastest growing martial arts in the UK, where tots as young as 4 fight each other in a ring in front of a paying adult audience. Right or wrong? That's the topic of our debate tonight. Sandy, you were actually one of the first people who actually taught Thai boxing in this country. You also hold several of the titles, both British and European. Children as young as 5, surely it's too violent for them.
Don't like to use the word violence. Thai boxing really is it's not about aggression or violence. It's about actually teaching them the opposite, teaching them control, self-control, self-discipline. It's all about self. And children can do any type of sport from any age. I believe from, you know, when they're young enough to be able to walk and talk, and they can move the limbs around, I think they should be allowed, you know, a bit of expression. And martial arts, I think, is one of the best ways of doing this. And it's the top of the tree of all the sports in discipline and not aggression.
Ravi, it's not about aggression, it's about discipline.
I'm amazed that you say it's not about aggression. I've seen Thai boxing in Thailand and it's an amazing sport. I mean, I'm impressed with the agility of these guys. But to say it's not aggressive...
Ravi, you're talking about Thailand. We're talking about kids over in England.
Okay.
It's totally different over here than what you've seen in Thailand.
Yeah, I've also seen Thai boxing, it's Muay Thai boxing, isn't it? I've seen adult Muay Thai boxing fights in this country as well.
We're talking about children.
Yes.
The rules are totally different.
Okay, well, let's talk about the adults first. It's aggressive, and you're saying it's not aggressive, but the prime motive is to cause harm to your opponent. Now, you can tell me how it differs
Well,
in children.
it is on, as Jeff just said there, on an adult level. The minute the person becomes an adult, you can make adult decisions. When you're old enough, you know, when you're 16, you can make the choice to have sex, you can make the choice to smoke. At 18, you can choose to go in a pub and drink. Okay. Prior to that, I believe you shouldn't do that. There's an age limit.
So how does child Thai boxing differ from adult Thai boxing?
Completely and utterly different. 100% different, because A, they're fully protected. Number one, okay,
so
they have body shields.
So tell me what
right,
protection they wear.
Let's start with the thing. First of all, they wear shin pads, which is the part of the kicking with the feet and the shins. Secondly, they will have a body shield on, which is a full body protection protecting all the internal organs.
Okay.
Thirdly, they will have boxing gloves on which protect the hands and the opponent, so there's padding between themselves and the opponent. Next, they'll have a groin guard on if it's male, obviously, and they'll wear a gum shield. Now, the gum shield is open to controversy because there is no head contact for children. So there is no trauma, there is no punching or striking, kicking or anything to the head until they reach a certain age.
Let me just interrupt you on that point. That's where I want to bring you in, both Donna and Ravi. Is it violent, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, apparently, and I've seen this in the still photographs, accidents do happen. Kids do get struck. I mean, to get struck in the neck is the same as getting struck in the head. The head does get hit accidentally. So if there's any possibility, even remotely, that can happen, they should be wearing protection to start with.
Children climb trees and fall out. Accidents happen.
But you don't have to put them in harm's way. What I'm saying is...
we don't put them children
Jeff,
in
can I just make my point? My point is, I am not against martial arts. I'm not against what you're trying to do. When it changes and when it goes into the ring and kids are competing in front of a paying audience, then you've got a whole different ball game here. What you're doing then is channeling a kid's aggression into overpowering another child, tying that in with self-worth, the anxiety of winning, of trying to please parents, of overcoming any fears they've got, and having to do that on a bell, go in there and do it, and hurt each other to win. That is where it all becomes psychologically damaging, as well as possibly physically damaging, because of the adrenaline.
You've got a 7-year-old who fights.
He's 8 today, actually.
He's 8, exactly. So tell us, I mean, are you recognising some of the things that Donna's saying,
not at all.
that obviously that psychologically
Jake was
he
in
may
the ring
not be prepared?
not to hurt his opponent, he goes into the ring to outscore his opponent.
Yeah, but still, you're striking blows to the body and possibly the head and neck.
Well, the striking
is protected on the protection.
Hold on. Yeah, let's talk about it on a minor level.
Okay, I mean, it's admirable that these children have protection. Protection like that is very good, but it is not going to 100% prevent injury. Okay, you're not going to get direct trauma, for example, to the chest or the abdomen, but you still get transmitted force. Now, even a small child is going to generate a considerable amount of force. At that impact, the force will dissipate, okay? You can still get significant blunt trauma as a result of a blow through that protection. Now, my concern with this from the point of view of a paediatrician, purely from a physical point of view, regardless of personal opinions about whether it's violent or not, is that you are actually putting your children at significant risk, okay? Because it only takes one blow to rupture a spleen, to fracture a rib, to collapse a lung. It only takes one stray kick, and the kicks, as I understand, are legitimately not supposed to go above the neck. Is that correct? It's about 6 centimetres from a child's neck to their head. It only takes one blow to the head, and I understand that it's not mandatory to wear headgear.
Yeah.
It's not, because there's no head contact.
No,
but the head guard is another thing that's quite subjective as well.
But do we not get stray blows in other sports?
Well,
in
yes,
football?
Football is a non-contact
The aim isn't
sport.
to strike the opponent, it's accidental, it's a side effect.
You only have to go on a football pitch on a Saturday or a Sunday where the parents are there with the children as equally as young an age, having a knockabout or even in a competitive game. Children are playing a non-contact sport, and there are more injuries. Football is the top of the tree. This is just using football. I'm not even using rugby or anything else, which is a contact sport. Jake, are getting more injuries than there has ever been in the history of the 30 years of Thai boxing has been in the UK.
Jake is
now 8 today. He's had 36 competitions. Jake has never, ever been injured. And that's down to the organisation, the professionalism of instructors like Sandy, Ronnie Thompson, Darren Phillips, instructors who are well known throughout the profession.
Jeff, how many blows to the head has he had in all his
matches?
In them
36 fights, I could count on one hand the blows Jake's received to the head. That were accidental. They weren't full blows to the head. There was glancing blows that had slipped off.
A glancing blow is all it takes. It only takes. The other issue, obviously, because head trauma isn't major, but it does happen. You admit it does happen. It can only take one blow to cause a significant brain injury, to cause a significant bleed. That's one issue. With repeated head injuries or repeated head trauma, it's not, even if you've got a head guard on, it's going to be the shaking injury.
Let's talk about the issue then of putting your children at risk, because I think this is what shocks a lot of the public who actually see some of the programmes about Thai boxes, particularly when they're children.
Right, can I say
Are they at risk?
Well, this is the thing. There's obviously going to be an age.